All right, I want to welcome you to the last tutorial here. It's going to be part 5. It's going to teach you how to actually add tips. And this is kind of going to put everything together for you, especially with the previous 4 videos. You're going to really understand how exactly this application works. TipTop Tracker, it's the only app that's going to help you track your tips as well as your taxes. So let's go ahead and get to it. Going to go ahead and actually we're on Burger Shack. Let's go. I think we said that we quit this job. So let's go here and activate it. Hit save. Okay. There, it's inactivated. Now we want to go ahead and switch to our new employer there, Taco Taco. Change to this employer, the red button. Let's go ahead and add a tip. If we go back and let's just double check, make sure there's nothing as far as previously earned tips. There's nothing here because it's a new job. You have TipTop, you've been using it, and now you do have a new job. Let's go ahead and hit back here and let's go to calendar view. So we can either click on the 13 and it'll open up the add money screen, or you can click on the top right there, add tips. So here we go. At the end of the night or at the end of your shift, if you're working on lunch shift or brunch shift, you usually get a receipt that has most of your information. All you're doing is just translating most of that information from your slip into TipTop, starting with your gross tips. Your gross tips are the tips you collected, if that's cash or credit card, but you haven't tipped out yet. So this is the total that you've made. So let's say you made a total of $100 during this shift. Now we're going to go ahead and go to food sales. Food sales, you can either track your net or your gross. I prefer to track my gross food sales. Let's say I sold $500 and then tip out. For tip out, you either have two ways of tipping out. I tend to see that more servers are actually tipping out on their food sales and not on their gross tips. Here's an example. Whenever you hear, oh yeah, the tip out's 3%, more than likely they're tipping out on the $500. It's 3% of $500. Whenever you hear a server say, yeah, I tip out about 20 to 30%, I'm like, there's no way you're tipping 20 or 30% of $500. You're not making money. So when they're saying that, it's actually coming from their gross tips, which is $100. In most cases, and if you do look, actually let's go back. Let's go back here, change, edit employer, Taco Taco. Right here where it says tip percentage 0. Let's say I do get tipped 3%. All right, hit done, hit save. Okay. Let's go back to add money. Let's say I make $100. Food sales is $500. Bam, right there, tip out. It automatically calculated that 3% based off your food sales. Now you can't use this feature if you do tip out on your gross tips. But with that right there, it shows you 15 is what you're tipping out. So if we go to hours, click on hours, you do have the option of just entering the physical number of hours if you know how to calculate that. But just let's say you clocked in, hit the clocked in at 5:30 p.m. and you were done at 10:30 p.m. right there, 5 hours. And then you want to hit shift type right below that. I'm going to say this is a dinner shift. Perfect. So as you see, we can start from the top. You have $100 that you've made altogether. You made that from $500 in sales. You're tipping out 3% of that $500 in sales, which is $15. So if you look at your shift summary, you're seeing your net tips. Your net tips are $85. That's what you're bringing home. That's what's taxable. That's the money you're tracking. Then your average hourly rate is $17 an hour, and your tip percentage is 20%. So you're getting 20% off of your sales. If you hit save, money is saved right there. And you're going to see a little green dot right below there. That's indicating that you have actually put in a tip amount. Now you can finally go to tip details, and you're going to see your monthly earnings. There's that $85. There's the 5 hours that you've worked, and there's your average hourly rate. And if you go to statistics, it's going to show right here. Since you've been at Taco Taco, you've sold $500. Your gross tips were $100, so you've made $100. You tipped out 15 overall, so that's going to bring you after tip out your net tips at $85. Your tip percentage 20%, hours worked 5%, and your average hourly is 17% since you've worked there. Now, the difference between the average hourly here is this is a monthly monthly. So you see December 2017, it's a monthly average. This is an overall average. So if I started this job months ago, it's going to tell me that overall average since I've been at Taco Taco. Then you can also hit the graph or the statistics there. And now you actually have data where you can see, and it's going to animate there for you. So it's showing you here in December, my total sales was $500. If I hit the arrow to the right, it's going to show my gross tips. My tip out, it's going to be red because it's a deduction from your actual gross tips. You have your net tips at 85, your hours there, and your average hourly rate. So that's kind of the basis of it. Now let's kind of play around with some things here. If you go to tip details, you hit taxes. Now look at that, $17,685. Now that $17,600 is from your previous employer. So if you go here, all right, Burger Shack, you're going to see where it says $17,600. Okay, perfect. Tip amount, and there it is, $17,685 is what you've made with all your employers. Now, if I go ahead and I add an additional, let's say I add another tip, say it's $100. Again, it's $500 in sales, $15. It's going to automatically put that data in there based off of the 3% that you have set in your employer setting. Say I worked 5 hours, and let's say it was another dinner shift. This is for the next day. This is for Thursday, December 14th. We go ahead and hit save. Okay. Tip details. Now 85 plus 85 is going to show you for the month $170. You worked a total of 5 hours one shift, 5 hours another shift. That's going to be 10 hours. And then average hourly rate, 17, didn't change there. Now you're going to see your number go up here, $17,780.65. Now if you go to statistics here, now you've sold a total of $1,000 worth of food. You've made $200. Now you've tipped out $30, so you brought home $170. And if you go here, you're going to see that statistic carry out throughout the graph. So that's kind of the basics of adding tips, of course, to this application. It's not too confusing, but if you do have any questions, I always say don't hesitate to email me. I can answer your questions at tiptoptracker.com or my email at support@tiptoptracker.com. Thank you again for watching, and hope you have fun tracking.